Hello there. So I'm out walking again, and today I'd like to dive straight in with the big one, which is how it felt when I first realised that I had a child with autism, that my lovely guy was going to be following a pathway which I hadn't necessarily chosen. I gave birth to a perfectly healthy boy. And can I just say before I talk about this that some people may question why I'm talking about him, and do I have the right to talk about it and permission from him? And my son is completely happy with me sharing our story because I've never ever let him feel ashamed in any way, and I've always tried to work towards celebrating his successes. So anyway, I was expecting a healthy baby, had a healthy baby, and when he was about coming up to 3, his behaviour completely changed. I don't want to bring a political argument into it here, but there was a certain medical procedure which happened, which he reacted to, and I remember a massive temperature and a long night of not sleeping with him, and 3 weeks later he stopped talking, basically. So I took him to the health visitor, and at 3, just before 3, and that was when the first time the A word, as it's sometimes talked about, was mentioned, autism. And I didn't really know anything about it, and yet I was a teacher, but I still didn't know much about it. It was a huge blast to us, and I felt completely ill-equipped. There weren't the networks then that we have now, and I floundered, really floundered. And I did think, why me? And as the years have passed and gone on, I've realised that I was the very best person for him, which is why I'm doing this for you, because I believe that every parent is the very best thing for their child. And we might stuff it up, and we might make big mistakes, and we might find that it triggers us to behave in ways which aren't the most productive. In other words, we might find ways to cope which aren't the best ways, i.e., alcohol. But it doesn't make us bad people, and all we can do is our best. So anyway, he was diagnosed, and then I went along a journey of realising, like I said in the poem Welcome to Holland, I had to learn to embrace a completely different future from the one that I had envisaged for him. And over the years, it became really obvious that there were so many wonderful things about the way his mind works and about the way he was, that I just learned to embrace it. And he's so quirky and fantastic. And I learned so much, and I had a great circle of friends around me, and that's what I did. I gathered a circle of friends, and that's what we need to do as parents of a child who's got that disability. I'm going to use some language that some people get picky with, but I'm really not interested in having discussions about whether what I say is true or not. What I'm saying is my truth. And this doesn't mean that it will be the truth of any other parent. Everybody's journey is completely different, but I am pretty sure that most parents, there will be some parallels in what I say. So it was hard. The diagnosis was hard. I was lucky because he did actually get a diagnosis, and I've learnt through the years that one of the hardest things for parents is that they've muddled through and gone along and tried to manage behaviours, and they haven't been backed by the system. So I was very lucky that I kind of had a massive nervous breakdown over it, and I think that kind of fueled things forward a little bit. And because I'm also a teacher, I knew that I needed to shout, and I have the sort of personality where I wasn't going to let go. And this is where I also really feel for the parents who don't necessarily have the skills or the confidence to push through and get what's necessary for their children. So today I've told a little bit about me and my journey, so that's where I'm coming from. He was diagnosed with autism at 4. Before that, I had read up a lot about it and realised that this is what he had. He was admitted to a special school, and that was when it became very upsetting, because I had to realise that his life was going to take a pathway that was completely different from what I'd envisaged for him. So, yeah. But on the page you'll see that on my Instagram, you'll see that I have, on my YouTube link, that I have lots of videos of him, because what you'll find with people with autism or Downs or whatever, everyone's got their special talents, and he happens to be a fantastic entertainer, and so he brings great joy to our lives, and I wouldn't have him any other way. My neurotypical son once said to me, "Mum, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow and Thomas wasn't autistic?" I said, I don't think I'd be really very happy with that, because I love him just the way he is, and he's great fun, and he brings so much joy to the world, and his soul is so deep and so special that he's just like his brother, just amazing. So my final comment to you, if you're a parent who's just really realising that your child has a disability, it's not all doom and gloom. It's scary at first, but you will get through it, and you'll find that the doors will open where you least expect them. There's a massive wealth of information on the internet that you can get. There are support networks there, so reach out, have a look. I hope I get more people to join this page, because I'd like to build a really solid community. I don't know where it's going with it. I'm just feeling my way, and maybe one day I'll be able to put all of this down on paper. I don't know. So if you're just struggling with that initial, oh wow, how am I going to deal with this? Trust you're the right person, and you will get through it, and you'll see the positives, because they really are a complete blessing. Our guys, our children, however they present, they are a complete blessing. So this comes to you with love.